Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a few sleep products that I've picked up over Christmas, and it's going to be like a mini haul slash review type video. I'm a bit out of practice because it has been so long since I last sat down and spoke to you guys, but yeah, we're going to get into it. But before I do, I just want to say that you might have noticed my background has changed a little bit. We actually moved in October of last year. We were living in Leamington Spa, which is a really beautiful town in Warwickshire. It's stunning, but it's really expensive to live there, and we wanted a bit more room, and we also wanted to live in the city because I'm pretty much a city girl. Even though I don't really like crowds and people very much, I don't know why, I just like the feel of living in a city. So we've actually moved to Birmingham, and I've actually got my very own room now, and this is basically my dressing room slash makeup room slash study, like everything incorporated. I'm in here quite a lot. Like the background at the moment is pretty bland. I managed to paint this back wall here like a really nice light candy floss pink colour, and I've put a mirror up that you can kind of see behind my head. We've also got this nasty old radiator that I want to cover up. I want to get one of those radiator covers and then put some nice ornaments on top. So unfortunately you're going to have to deal with that in my video for a while until I get a radiator cover, but I'm hoping futuristically it's going to look a little bit better back there. I'm also looking at getting a lighting system, but that's quite way ahead in the future. I just use natural daylight, which is really great when it's going well, but this is the UK and it's just, I don't know, it's so temperamental. Some days it's so dark that I can't even film, and then some days it's just way too bright. So I am looking at futuristically getting some lighting that will allow me to move around the room a bit as well, and I'll be able to film whatever time of day and night, so that would be really awesome. Anyway, enough of my blabbering. I just wanted to catch you up there. I'm going to get into this mini haul slash review type thing. So the first products that I'm going to talk about are some lip products, and I'm going to start on a bit of a downer, I think, and I'm going to go for this one here. This is the Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Cream, and it's like basically like a liquid lipstick. I mean, we all know 2015 was the year of the liquid lipstick. Everyone went crazy for it. This one is in the colour Fandango Purple. It's a really beautiful colour. I'm going to be honest with you right now, I can't give you a decent review on how long wearing these are, because pretty much after 15 minutes of wearing this product I had to take it off. I thought I was used to very drying matte products, that they bothered me a little bit but not too much. For example, MAC's Ruby Woo, that's a very drying, it's like a clay, like retro matte type formula. And also the Maybelline 24/7 lip, kind of liquid lip cream things, they are also very drying as well. But this, this is the most drying formula I've ever tried. And I know a lot of people rave about these on YouTube, so if you really like these and the formula doesn't bother you that much, that's really awesome, but for me it didn't work. I'm going to swatch it anyway. So this is the applicator. It's a long thin applicator. I find that is slightly too long for me. So as you can see, it's just a really beautiful purple colour, and I will show you that swatch once it's dried down as well. I will say it's pretty pigmented, although when I did apply this to my lips I had to apply a couple of coats of this just to make it super opaque. So I did find that it didn't go on as opaque as I'd liked it to have gone on. So when I first applied this, it felt okay, it felt fine. It was just like a normal kind of lip cream. I waited for it to dry to a matte finish. I think that took about just over 5 minutes maybe to dry to a fully matte finish. And I'm not even kidding you, this stuff felt like I'd applied chalk all over my lips, and that's just making me cringe thinking about it. Like, it felt so awfully dry. I have pretty dry lips anyway. I have to really exfoliate and moisturize my lips all the time, especially when I'm applying matte lip formulas onto my lips. I need to get some moisturization into my lips beforehand. It's a must for me, and this was just so drying. I kept it on for about 15 minutes. I was going to try and get it to last as long as I could so I could give you guys a proper review. I had to take it off, like I really had to take it off. So this unfortunately was a big no for me. I think if you are still wanting to try these and you have read and you've had positive reviews as well, I would definitely suggest just buying one. I wouldn't buy a bunch of them, because if you don't like the formula you're stuck with them and you can't take them back. Not if you're in the UK anyway, unfortunately. So definitely just try one first, that's all I can say. I had better luck with this next lip product, and it's what I'm wearing on my lips right now. It's this lipstick, and it's from the True Colour lipstick range, and this is the matte formula, and this is in the what's this shade called? Vamp. So that's Vamp there. and it's such a beautiful colour. That's what it looks like on my lips. And this is a really comfortable matte lipstick. It's nowhere near as drying as MAC's Ruby Woo, as I mentioned before. Definitely nowhere near as drying as this liquid lipstick. It's quite a creamy matte, but it's definitely a matte. It's not what I would say call moisturising, but it doesn't feel like my lips are drying up and going to shrivel, so that's really awesome. That could be because it contains vitamin E, so that's just going to help a little bit with the moisturisation, although like I say, I don't find that it's moisturising, but it's nowhere near uncomfortable, so that's really good. And it is pretty long lasting. Of course, when you eat, it's going to fade a little, and if you eat anything that's oily, the product is going to break down, just like with any other lip product. I should say these both do retail for £4.99. You can find them on the Sleek website or Boots and Superdrug, of course. The next lip product that I want to talk to you guys about is this Ooh La La liner, and this is in the shade Raisin. And it's one of those lip liners where I feel like, I'll just show you there, I don't necessarily think I have a pencil sharpener that's going to work for this, so I might have to see if Sleek do a certain pencil sharpener, because I feel like if I use that with my normal makeup pen, like sharpener that I use for my makeup, it might trash the pencil, but we'll see. Here is a swatch of Raisin, and I am wearing Raisin as a lip liner today, and it complements Vamp very well. So this is Raisin. As you can see, it is a much darker, deeper purple shade, almost like an aubergine purple shade. Again, this is an incredibly matte lip liner, so therefore I do find that it does tend to tug and drag on my lips. I have pretty uneven lips as it is, so it takes me quite a while to fill my lips in and try and get them even. This side is definitely more plump than this side, so the fact that it drags is just I have to put in a little bit more effort, and it's more effort than I necessarily want to put in already, because I'm already taking so long on filling my lips in. I do notice sometimes that it also tends to slightly ball up a little bit, so I do tend to have to go in with a little lip brush as well and kind of smooth those little balled up pieces out. Again, this is £4.99. It's okay. It's not my favourite lip liner in the world. I wish it was a little bit more creamier. I do prefer the creamier type of lip liner, but it is a really nice colour. The next product I want to talk to you guys about is the highlighting palette, and I'm going to try not to blind you with this, but packaging is really beautiful. It's very different for Sleek. It's in like a really nice kind of gold packaging. And this is the Solstice highlighting palette. I was originally looking for the highlighting palette that has the blues in, the limited edition one. I really wanted that, but they didn't have that in stock, and I saw this and I fell in love with it anyway, because it's got some really usable highlighting shades in it. So this is a Solstice palette. Look at that packaging, it's so beautiful. Very different for Sleek. So it's got like a shiny rose gold packaging, and then Sleek in matte letters, as opposed to the other way around. It's usually the other way around. And the great thing about this palette is they have included the shade names on the back. I'll give you a closer look. And that is really helpful for me, because they do also include this plastic sheet, but if you've watched my videos already, you know how I feel about the plastic sheet. I lose them, and I just don't particularly like them anyway. I find them really unhelpful, especially when I'm recording videos. So this is what the palette looks like once you open it up. You have your 4 highlighting shades. You get a tiny little brush, which is pretty much useless to me. It's nice that they include it though, but yeah, it's not a brush that I would use. And it's also got a hinged mirror, which is really cool because it means that the mirror is completely usable, and it's great for travelling as well. So this palette includes a cream highlight and then 3 powders, and then 2 of those powders have a little bit of veining in them as well, which is really awesome. I'm just going to swatch them for you now. Let me just wipe my hands off before I swatch these. Before I wipe my hand off, that Matte Me lip colour has dried down, and if you can see, it does look a little bit patchy. So this is what I mean, I did have to go over my lips twice just to make sure it was opaque and not so patchy, but it is extremely matte, as you can see there in that swatch. But again, yeah, I just could not handle the formula. I'm just going to swatch this one here. This is the cream highlighter, and this is in the shade Ecliptic, and that's what it looks like there. Now these highlighters are super pigmented and so glowy. I mean, just look at that, it's absolutely gorgeous. I do have this on my cheekbones today underneath Sub Solar, which is the powdery cream highlight in the palette. I don't tend to like cream highlights. I feel like they can mess up my foundation sometimes. I'm wearing L'Oreal True Match today, and I'm just looking in my mirror, and I haven't noticed that it's made my foundation look really weird and swatchy, which a lot of cream highlights tend to do, so that's really, really awesome. And just look at how metallic that looks. It's stunning, so glowy. So basically the way I applied this is I just dabbed a little bit with my fingers, and then that's just how I blended it in as well, very, very lightly, very light pressure on the skin. So then we've got this really nice pinky powder highlight as well. And that's just that one there. This is in the shade Hemisphere. Very nice, very glowy. It does tend to have some very tiny micro glitter particles from what I can see, but nothing chunky and nothing to the point where it's just going to look like a huge glitter fest on the cheekbone, so that's really nice. Right, the next shade I'm going to swatch is Sub Solar, which is this really nice creamy powder shade, and this is what I'm wearing on my cheekbones, above my brow bones, a little bit on my nose, cupid's bow, and a tiny bit on my chin as well. And it is really, really beautiful. You can see that. Right, I've swatched this quite heavily so that you can actually see it on my skin tone. So that there is Sub Solar. And it's a little bit lighter than the Balm's Mary Luminizer. Mary Luminizer's definitely got some more of a champagne feel to it. And then we come to this really beautiful peachy shade, and this is called Equinox. And that is Equinox right there. So again, remember those are quite heavily swatched, they would be blended out on the cheekbones. One of the things I will say about this palette is every single shade is going to cater really well to my skin tone. I do feel like this peachy shade is going to look really nice on a medium skin tone, but it still does work on my fair skin tone, and they are all really, really beautiful shades, and they just blend out beautifully, give a really nice glow to the skin. And I absolutely love this highlighting palette. So once again, £10 for highlighting shades. You get 9 grams in there. I can see myself reaching for this palette a lot. I absolutely love it. And I think the packaging is really, really gorgeous. It definitely feels plasticky, but it looks expensive. It is very fingerprinty though, as you can see since I've been reviewing this. It has got a lot of fingerprints on it. So if that's something that really bothers you, well, it's going to really bother you, but it's really, really nice. So final product that I want to talk to you guys about is what I'm wearing on my eyes right now, and this is the Eye and Cheek palette. When I was in Boots around Christmas, they were doing a promotion on Sleek Cosmetics. If you spent £10 on any products in Sleek, then you get this Eye and Cheek palette for free. This palette is £10 by itself, so I thought that was a really, really awesome deal, and I definitely was not going to pass on that. This particular palette is in the shade Dancing Till Dusk, and I think it is aimed more towards a deeper skin tone, but this is the only palette they had left. So what I thought is that I'd try it out, and if it didn't work for me, then I could just give it away. But I have to say, I did find a way to make it work for me. It's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing one of the blushes on my cheeks right now, and then everything else I'm wearing on my eyes. I will have a video showing you how I got this kind of neutral eye look. It's just a shimmery neutral eye, and it was using this palette, so that will be coming up at some point. So with this, they've gone back to the usual Sleek packaging, and then once again, once you open it up, it has a nice hinged mirror, a really good size mirror. I'll try not to blind you. And then you've got your shades here as well. So basically what you get in here is you get 4 eyeshadows, and then you get 2 blushes. You also get, and just to show you, you get one of these little double-ended sponge tip applicators and another one of these little brushes as well, and they sit in here. I'd rather have had maybe a couple more eyeshadows in here rather than the sponge tip applicator and the brush, because I don't really find much use for them. Now, either I've lost the sheet or this just doesn't have any names for the eyeshadows at all. It does tell you what the blush names are, but not for the eyeshadows, so I will swatch those, but they don't seem to have names on them. Let me just give you a read of what it says on the back. It says the Dancing Till Dusk Eye and Cheek palette features shades from some of our best selling eye divine palettes and blushes. This highly versatile palette can be used to create looks for any occasion. It's multi-purpose for eyes and cheeks, so you don't particularly have to use these blushes on your cheeks, which is kind of what I did with one of them. I used them on my eye, and it suits all skin tones, which I realised it actually does. I'd definitely say that it would suit deeper skin tones beautifully. Medium and deeper skin tones, it would just look stunning on. And it has a large mirror, 2 brushes included, travel friendly, magnetic compact, and it definitely is a really great travel friendly size. If you're traveling, you don't want to bring too much with you, I'd say this is great because you've got your 4 eyeshadows here in really nice and neutral shades, and then you've got 2 blush options as well if you are medium to deeper skin tone. Let me get my hand out of the way. Okay, let me just wipe these highlighters off my hand again so I can give you guys some swatches. We're just going to swatch this blush here. This is in Mirrored Pink. There we go. This is a really super pigmented blush, so you only need a tiny bit, which I learned when I was applying this earlier. It is really super pigmented, a very creamy feeling. It's a beautiful vibrant pink, but it has some kind of gold shimmer running through it. But again, not at all like really glittery or chunky or anything like that. It just gives your cheeks that kind of glowy pink feel. That's what I'm wearing very lightly on my cheeks today. Next in the palette we have this very light brown / camel-y colour, and this is a great transition shade. It's what I'm wearing as a transition in my crease today. This is a great transition shade for me because it is not too dark. So the next shade we have is this deeper brown shimmery shade, and I'll just swatch that for you guys. And this is what I'm wearing on the outer half of my lid just to deepen things up a bit more. But it is really, really beautiful. Again, really nicely pigmented as well. Then we come to this kind of champagne-y gold shade, which is what I'm wearing on the inner half of my lid. This one you definitely have to build up a little bit more. That's what I found anyway, just to get good pigmentation. I mean, it's very pigmented once you swatch it on your hand, but I found with a brush that I needed to build it up. Actually, let me apply this to my inner... Let me just apply this to my eye with my finger and see if it's better. Yeah, it actually is. If you apply this to your lid with your finger, you definitely get better colour payoff. But again, really, really beautiful champagne gold shade. Then we come to our deep brown matte shade, which I should say 2 eyeshadows are shimmers and then 2 are mattes. And then you've got 1 matte blush and 1 shimmery blush. So such a great variation. So if you don't like all shimmery shadows or all mattes, you've got a really nice variation of finishes there. And let me just swatch that. So this is like a dark, dark reddish brown. It definitely has some red in there. And I've applied this on the outer corners of my crease just to deepen things up a little bit. Then we come to our second blush, and this is the Sahara blush, and it is absolutely stunning, guys. This would look so beautiful on deeper skin tones. Obviously, on me, I think it's just going to look a bit too crazy. I don't know, I haven't actually tried it out as a blush, but I did use this in my crease just to warm things up because I love those reddish brown orangey shades in the crease. This is definitely in that orangey red family, the same as like Sienna from Anastasia Beverly Hills. But Anastasia Beverly Hills is definitely more of a deeper reddish orange, whereas this is definitely more of a burnt orange shade. Let me just swatch this. So this one is a little bit powdery. So that is Sahara blush, except I've used it as an eyeshadow. So you probably guessed, I really, really love this Eye and Cheek palette. I definitely want to try out some more of their Eye and Cheek palettes. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that they include both mattes and shimmers in blush form and in eyeshadow form as well. So you've got some different variations of finishes to work with. It's a really great neutral palette as well for all you neutral shadow lovers out there. And in general, it does cost £10. I did get this on a promotion, so this was free for me. So definitely look out for more promotions like that. I know Boots Superdrug, they always do something like 3 for 2 or buy one get one half price or something like that. So if you do see these on an offer, definitely try and pick one up because I'm really, really happy with both the pigmentation, the colour payoff. They blend really nicely. I absolutely love this palette. So that's pretty much everything that I got from Sleek. I want to talk to you about my top picks in a moment. I did buy 2 eyeshadow palettes, but I'm not going to be talking to you about those in this video. I think I'm going to probably review them individually so I can go a bit more in depth with you guys. So we're just going to stick to these 5 products. My top picks, definitely the highlighting palette is absolutely stunning, and for drugstore highlights, sometimes I find that a drugstore highlight can be too shimmery, contains too much glitter, but these are absolutely beautiful and perfect. And even this cream highlight, it works really, really well. I will say I did try this with the Revlon Colorstay foundation, and that's a really matte foundation. I don't think it worked as well with that, but with this L'Oreal True Match, like, I'm looking again in my mirror and I don't see it disturbing my foundation whatsoever. So that is a definite must. Again, £10. As you probably can tell, I definitely recommend the Eye and Cheek palette. And then I would say this lipstick in Vamp is stunning. I didn't actually purchase this myself, this was a gift to me for Christmas, and the person obviously knows me so well as to get me such a vampy shade. I love it. And then these two products I wouldn't necessarily recommend. The lip liner is okay, but it just drags and I wish it was a little bit more creamier. And this I just can't wear, it's just too drying for me. And I'm not usually that fussy with products that dry out your lips, but I've apparently finally met my match with the Matte Me formula, so there you go. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in some way, and I'll see you next time.